Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this afternoon with Max and Fred, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is the sequel to Max's first video, which is exactly the same except that he was extremely rusty. The first thing that we want to remind you is that we use a regular 6-foot web training leash. Fred keeps the bulk of the leash folded in his right hand. That leaves the left hand free to give the correction, and the correction that we give here at school is a little tug and let go on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. And Max is going to come home with his very own training collar, and he's going to be using it at home. Now he's sitting nicely at Fred's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Max heel, and at this point his job is to walk next to you like a gentleman, not dragging you down the street, and each time that you stop your feet, he should be sitting automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So this makes walking your dog a pleasure. You're in charge, not him. He's to keep his eyes on you when you're moving along, and each time you stop, he sits very nicely to wait for his next command. And the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command. Fred will put him back into a sit. It's a hand and a voice, and because it is a stationary exercise, it's the one word firm command to stay. The long sit stay when you're practicing at home is for 1 minute, working up to 3 minutes. When Fred returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, returning back to heel position, and each time that you get back to your dog's shoulders, he expects to get another command. So Fred told him to heel again, and they take off walking. Now remember, with your stationary exercises, your sit stay and your down stay, these help to develop attention span, maturity, and independence. So you practice those right in your living room. You don't have to go outside in the cold. Fred leaves him in another stay. And this time, instead of returning back to him, he's going to call him. And he says, "Max, come." And Max should come and sit right in front of you. He should not be jumping all over. He should be no longer running the show. Fred leaves him in another sit stay. And then he comes right in front and sits facing Fred's legs. Very good job. And then he returns back to heel position. Each time that your dog returns back to heel, he expects to get another command. Now we're going to set up for our down commands, and there are 2 of them. There are down, it's down from a heel. With your dog seated at heel position, you use your left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down. And then he leaves him in a stay, and your long down stay when you're practicing at home is for 3 to 5 minutes. Practice it while you're eating dinner or watching TV. It's easy to practice right in your house. When Fred returns back to him, he will walk all the way around him for an additional distraction, just as he did on the sit stay. He gives him a little pat for praise. And the next exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a distance. So Fred's going to leave him in a sit stay, walk out to the end of his training leash. This is a little harder because you're not next to him. He's going to use his right hand this time to give the command. He's a little hesitant with this one, but he did it. That was very good for Max. Now these are all of your obedience commands, and I will guarantee you that if you practice his obedience every day, put your video on your computer, practice right in the house, you're going to get better manners all the way around with this dog. He just needs some structure and some discipline. His housebreaking has been impeccable. So we want to thank you again for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and Merry Christmas.